leader, Dylan Nelson in the 25, and then Drew Nelson, not related, the outside of row number 3, and then our driver interview on the night, David Dosh in the 12. These guys getting ready to go 8 laps right now. We're going green. Larson with a great jump down into turn 1. It'll be Hegeman on the inside. Fenstermaker goes up the hill. Brandon Faw threads the needle between Fenstermaker and Nelson, and he goes from way in the back. He started, where did he start? I guess 4th and up into 3rd. Nelson down low in the 25, and he will come by for the first time in the 3rd spot. So it'll be Larson, Hegeman, Nelson, Faw, Fenstermaker, Dosh, and Drew Nelson in the 3. Lots of Nelsons and Johnsons race cars. That's the conclusion that I've come to. Yes. David Dosh side by side now. It's further back in the field, but you know what? A battle's a battle. When you're the driver, you're excited to be door-to-door with somebody. It doesn't matter where it is. You like it to be in the front, but if it's last, you're still racing. Larson, Hegeman, and Dylan Nelson, because there's another Nelson coming up in heat number 2, so we have to differentiate. Look at old Jake Alicious trying to get down low, drag racing down the backstretch with Devin in the 96, turns into 3, little bumper to bumper. They're nice. These are professional pure stock drivers right here. And all of them relatively young. Oh, Jake Alicious with a good drive coming out of 2, and he'll have the bumper at least halfway up the car, going down into 3. Little bit of a love tap, and Jake! Oh, yeah, nice move. That's a little pass in the grass right there. That's Earnhardt style. You know, for those that are NASCAR fans from a long time ago. He lost a lot of ground, and I think that's legal, right? I mean, there's no, I think that's good. He didn't gain a spot. He lost time, so I say no harm, no foul. 1 to go coming to us next time by as Larson still leading him around. Dylan Nelson's like, are you kidding me? The dude went off the track, and I still didn't get by him. But, of course, it was a lot shorter. Larson coming to 1 to go, and Jake Alicious has closed the gap yet again. 2 corners to get it done. It's really 4, but I count it as 2. 1 and 2, that's 1. 3 and 4, that's another. Coming down, getting the win. The same order they ran the whole time. Devin Larson, Jake Hegeman, and Dylan Nelson. Roman's like, hey, you're making me start way out back here. You got to tuck it up a little bit. Going green. Nelson brings him to Jones, and Jones waves the flag, and Mikey Nelson with a good jump down into turn number 1. Bartik up high, Paul down low, and they'll go door-to-door coming out of number 2, and Craig Paul gets the advantage going down the backstretch. Not only the advantage, but the inside, which is where you want to be, at least tonight. Nelson with about 3 car length lead already over Paul, Bartik, Naslin, and Siltman. And then DeMars not living up to the reputation of the 22G car, because that's a wicked fast car. And so early on in the career, you can take it a little easy. It takes a little time to get it under you a little bit, just like I mentioned a little earlier. You want to get to know your car just a little bit, and Justin's a brand new guy behind the wheel, and it takes a little bit to get to know the guy. Nelson and Paul, they are way up front in front of Bartik, who is in 3rd, and so the battle to be watching with 5 to go here. Nelson and Paul going down the backstretch, about 3 car lengths between the two of them. Down the backstretch into 3 and 4. Both guys with great 3 and 4. And that exactly the same gap between those top 2. Bartik and Naslin. Naslin down low, and she's tried it a couple times. Little tappity tap. Rubbin's racing. No harm, no foul. Blue flag coming out for DeMars. Naslin taking over that third spot from Terry Bartik. Siltman next on the agenda, but he's a bit back. He'll have to do some catching up to the 71 if he's going to make a move into that fourth spot. Your leader's getting by the 22D of DeMars. And the gap closed a little bit between Mike Nelson and Craig Paul. 2 to go. Nelson and Paul coming to the white flag, lap and a half to go. And there's maybe 2 car lengths between them, so Craig's able to whittle off in 3 laps, was able to whittle off 1 car length, but then had just the ever so slight little bit of a push coming out of 4, and he lost about 3 car lengths, and now about 5 between them, and 1 lap to go. Mikey's kind of what you call icy behind the wheel. He doesn't make mistakes, and so to make up 5 car lengths in 1 lap is not going to happen, and the 10 Junior goes to yet another win. The Outdoor Adventures IDS Wides Major Appliance Risky Business Car out of Brainerd. Craig Paul dives to the inside there. Not sure if he had a trouble or something. David Dosh is row number 7. And you see the 2 bad car. That is Craig Paul having engine troubles. And so he is literally going to take the green flag and pull off the track and to save that car to get his points for last place. And you never know when that little bit of points makes a huge difference come end of the season championship stuff. So Naslin with a great jump and an early lead. Nelson on the outside. Then Siltman down low, then Fa. Then Jake Alicious, the 33 of Jake Hegeman. Then Larson, Dylan Nelson. They are your top 6 or 7, completing lap number 1. Naslin and Mike Nelson down into 3. Tammy's getting things done here. Holding off Mikey Nelson. Mike is our, Dylan, the 25, our points leader. Craig Paul, the guy that made the 1 lap and pulled off, he was 2nd spot. Surely that will fall. Naslin, Nelson, Siltman, and Hegeman. Look at behind Hegeman there, 3 wide, and someone's got to lift. 3 wide never, well, I shouldn't say never, rarely works going into 1 or 3. A battle for the lead shaping up here between the 10 and the 114. Naslin keeping things down low, little kiss off the right front of the 10 Junior of Mikey Nelson. Mikey says, not tonight, Tammy. Siltman doing a great job of holding on to that 3rd spot. Jake Alicious in 4th. And Dylan Nelson on the move coming up through the pack. Still Naslin. And they're going to be coming up on the 22D car early on in this race. They're going 15 laps. They're only 5 in. And they're already going to be into some lap stuff. And when you're trying to pass 2 wide, and there's a guy in the racing line in front of you, oh, it just changes everything about a race. You have to choose your when you pass, how you pass, where you pass so carefully. As now, like I said, when, where, and how you pass, Mikey Nelson thought he was going to get the pick on the 114 as the 114 was up high, so was the 22D. But then Tammy just drove it down to the inside. And they are side by side, door to door, wheel to wheel, completing lap number, that would be 7. And new leader, 10 Junior, Mikey Nelson, to the point. Hegeman has fallen a couple spots to the 25 machine, and they all work by the 22D of Justin DeMars. It'll be Siltman and Nelson battling out. That is for 3rd spot. The 25 and the 43, Jake Alicious in the 33. He is going to get under the 43 of Siltman, and he will take over the 4th spot and put the 43 back to 5th. Devin Larson behind him, then Brandon Fa, David Dosh, Drew Nelson in the 3, and then Fenstermaker in the 00, and Terry Bartik in the 71. That is your Grand Casino Pure Stock through the field. 5 laps to go this time for the 10 Junior of Mikey Nelson and Naslin. the nephew, Dylan, then Jake, then Roman. They're your top 5 here in the pure stock class, and all of those guys up near the front of the points lead. Dylan Nelson, your points leader, then Craig Paul, Mike Nelson, Jake Hegeman, Aaron Fenstermaker, Devin Larson, Dosh is in 7th, Foz in 8th, and Drew Nelson 10th, and Roman Siltman, the 43, rounds out the top 10 in championship points here. 4 to go. Way to the high side around Bartik goes Mikey Nelson. That just had to be fun, as he wasn't just high, wide, and handsome. He was bouncing off the wall almost up there as he gets around Bartik. And he lost ground, but still your leader. The 10 junior to Tammy Naslin in the 114. The 25 at Dylan Nelson, points leader. And then Jake Alicious in the 4th spot, having a good run in the 33. Mikey in the 10 junior, certainly not running away from anything here, as again they get into the lapper of Justin DeMars, the 22D, and he's down low, having trouble hanging on. Your leader gets by, but Naslin is going to catch him right in the turn. Exactly where you do not want to be is to the outside of a brand new driver. Dylan Nelson closes that gap. White flag is out for everybody. The winner is going to be the 10 junior of Mikey Nelson. Tammy Naslin gets second, Dylan Nelson. Then it'll be Jake Alicious in the 33. Siltman, Larson, Dosh, Fa, and Nelson. They're all of your Grand Casino Pure Stocks. And we give our hand to the 10 junior car, Mikey Nelson, Outdoor Adventures, IDS, Wides Major Appliance, and Risky Business on the side of the 10 juniors. He pulls down into the Grand Casino Pure Stock. And ladies and gentlemen, be careful on your way home. Once all of the cars are through the exit, we'll open up the doors. You can go down to the pits, meet your favorite driver, get up and close. Keep in mind, these cars are very, very hot as they've just been out racing. Don't touch stuff, but go down there, meet your drivers, get some autographs. The Danny Severson car, find where he's parked, number 30 super stock car, giving away free money to the deer stand in Deerwood. We congratulate Mikey Nelson as he pulls into the Grand Casino Pure Stock winner's circle. Thank you very much to Pillager and Baxter, and especially Cub Foods. Again, go to Cub Foods this week. Get your tickets for Brainerd Town night. Do it all over again next Saturday night. We'll be here putting on the show for you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming out and having fun with us on a Saturday night dirt fight. That's our show for the evening. Drive careful.